Hi, I'm Governor Tom Wolf, and you're watching CITV.
Good afternoon, parents and students. Welcome. Thanks for braving the rain to be here today. Such a wonderful event. And students, as you know, you can put your phones away. Parents, that's you as well. I'm sure it's a great moment for you to take photos today. What a great event to recognize 400 students, a fourth of our student body for our Academic Awards Assembly. I'll be brief since I know we're here to honor the amazing students here this afternoon. It's been an amazing start to the school year. As you can see, those of you who walked around an open house, it's just what a difference it makes having the entire building, except for the gymnasium, which is right behind in a couple of weeks, completed. So it's been an amazing start. It's due to the great 1,600 students we have, as well as the 400 here in our auditorium. I'd like to congratulate the students here this afternoon. Like I said, you are one of 400 students being honored this afternoon for earning honor roll status for 2 consecutive semesters with an unweighted GPA of 3.0 or higher. What an accomplishment. A round of applause for our students, please. Students, I'd like for you to take a step back and reflect and enjoy this moment. Rarely in your life you'll be recognized for such an accomplishment such as today, being recognized for your academics. I'm looking around the room, and not only do I see students, but I see athletes and musicians and artists, leaders, entrepreneurs, members of the FBLA club, and on and on and on. Students highly involved in an activity, in addition to being students here at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. There you go, full flexibility. So that makes it all worthwhile for you, how busy you are in your lives and being a teenager, to be recognized for an academic achievement. Many of you, AP, honors classes, really a very rigorous course load, and maintaining A's and D's in all of your courses. And to the senior parents in here, congratulations. I'm sure you've been in here most likely for 4 years, and could be your last moment here in the Plymouth Whitemarsh High School auditorium as we approach the class of 2019 graduation. So congratulations to all of you. And congratulations once again to all of our students. So on behalf of Dr. Christian, Superintendent, the Colonial School Board of Directors, my administrative team, congratulations on your accomplishment, and enjoy the Academic Awards Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bacani. So at this point, I just want to take a moment to explain the format of this assembly. Like Dr. Bacani mentioned, we had over 400 students that received academic awards for this ceremony alone. So what we did was we flipped the assembly a little bit. We had the students, once they were notified that they received the award, we asked them to fill out a Google Doc that asked them about their time in Colonial School District. And what we did was I took the results that they sent me, and I chose collectively we chose a teacher from each building that stood out as making a difference with your children. So what we're going to do is we're going to have each guest, it's a surprise guest because there's only maybe 10 of us in this room who is coming up here. We're going to bring them out, and they're going to talk to you, because as much of an honor as it is for your children to be selected the academic awards, it's also an honor that your children wrote so highly about these teachers. In addition to that, we have numerous wonderful teachers throughout the district. So later on, in about a month or two, we take all of the responses that all of the students sent, and we print them out and we send them to all of the teachers throughout the district, so that maybe on another dreary day, a little bit further into the school year, they're going to get an envelope, and it's going to have notes on it from all of the students that took the time to write about their teachers and their experience and what mark they made on them. And I just have to tell you that I have chills, because I get really nice emails just saying how much of a difference it makes on that day in November that they get those notes from your children. So to the students that are in this room, please know that the time that you took to fill out that form is very appreciated by the teachers and the staff that get to hear your responses. So without further ado, we're going to start with Conshohocken Elementary School, and I'm going to bring out our first surprise guest, and it is Mrs. Maria O'Connor. Wow, what a pleasure and great honor it is to be invited here today. For some of you, I'm your former music teacher from Conshohocken Elementary School, Mrs. O'Connor, or as some of you remember, Miss Moskwa. You may also remember me as the Conshohocken mascot, C.E. Coyote. Yes, it was me that whole time. The queen of Recorderland, the orchestra teacher, or just that crazy music lady at the end of the hallway. If you were a student of mine, you probably have heard me tell you that teaching music was my dream. Teaching you at Conshohocken was a dream. Teaching some of you how to play different instruments, yes, even hot cross buns on a plastic recorder, over and over and over and over again was a dream. And being recognized for a job that you love so much is the ultimate dream. To me, it means that you enjoyed being in my class just as much as I did. We've shared so many moments together when you think about it, and so many huge milestones, field trips, moving up ceremonies, first concerts, and the most special has been sharing that front row seat with your families and watching you all grow into the fine young adults you've become today. Yes, you're here for honors, but there is so much more to you than those numbers on that page. You know that. You have the brains, the heart, and the courage to do just about anything. Well, I hit the lottery when I was given the opportunity to teach at what I think was the best school in the district. Sorry, everybody else. That was that little gem on 3rd and Harry Street, Conshohocken Elementary. Our playtimes on the patch of grass, our Halloween parades, our morning CE news shows, our howling handbells, our walks from the fellowship in the morning to get to chorus rehearsal. Now, everyone has fond memories of their K-3 years, but if you went to CE, you knew that it was someplace super special. I mean, what kids would allow you to dress them up like farm animals, three-toed sloths, narwhals, and sing their hearts out on stage for you? Or help you put together backdrops and time machines made out of refrigerator boxes during Fun Fridays? Or respond when you made a loud bird noise, woo! Right? CE kids, right? That's right. CE kids would. Conchi was another place to call home. As I prepared for today, I was struck with a memory of the last time you were all together at CE. It hit me like a falling house from the sky, and its message has been threaded through my words today. It was the Conshohocken Winter Musical of 2009. The title was The Blizzard of Oz, and Dorothy's mission was not to get home, but to ask the wizard for a snow day. Along the way, Dorothy met the snowflakes, the scarecrows, the lions, and the tin men, who are sitting here today as sophomores, juniors, and seniors. All having different requests like mittens, scarves, and hats, but together one mission to work together. And they achieved what they set out to do. We learned that there was no place like home on a snowy day. So as I look at all you fabulous, hard-working young adults, I ask that you heed the strong advice from the snowflakes, the freshmen who are in here. But remember, as you follow that yellow brick road of life, that you have the brains to outsmart any situation, the courage to face what is a much, much harder world than the one I had to face, and that you open your heart and be kind to those you meet along the way. New adventure awaits for each and every one of you, but never forget where home is. And lastly, as I stand here before you today, remember me as living proof that the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. O'Connor. At this time, I have a special student to come up and present flowers, and this is Majida Smith. Majida said, Mrs. O'Connor always knew how to connect with her students. No matter what, she always had a strong belief that everyone can reach their full potential. Being the new kid in 3rd grade was quite nerve-wracking, but Ms. O'Connor set off a vibe that made me feel appreciated and accepted. I believe that she has touched the heart of every student she's encountered and continues to inspire today. To still be able to work with her during the school musicals is an honor. This is my last year of high school, but these are the memories I will continue to cherish forever. Thank you both. And our next surprise guest is from Plymouth Elementary School, and this is Mrs. Stephanie Kundtz.
Hi, everybody. I just want to thank you all for having me here today. I'm truly honored to stand on this stage in front of all of you. This stage is very special to me. I literally grew up on this stage. So many Colonial teachers who've touched my life and made me who I am today. I used to sit on my little 3-foot by 3-foot reg remnant and learned all about the letter people from Mrs. Russo, my kindergarten teacher at Spring Mill Elementary. Back in the day when nap time was the most effective way to differentiate the curriculum. And Mrs. Pletcher, my 4th grade teacher at Whitemarsh Elementary, she taught me how to use laughter and big hugs to reach a classroom. And if you needed a brain break, she would send you outside to the playground to clap erasers, all 25 of them. And then Mr. Riley, who showed me how to stand up straight and take a deep breath and belt out "The sun will come out tomorrow" as loud as I could. I was consumed in AP Chem with Mr. Ray's innate ability to recite his entire lesson from memory. No lessons, no textbooks, just pages and pages of notes straight off the top of his head. But nothing compares to the moment in AP Bio when Mr. Coletta explained in minute detail what the inside of an Oreo is actually made of. And I'm still scarred. And then finally, Mrs. McGonigal, the OG, the original Sikh teacher. She taught me that although it seemed the rest of the world might think inside the box, it was quite all right if I lived outside of it. And I'm so proud of all of you for your amazing accomplishments, but I'm not all that surprised. I always knew that this crowd was something special. I distinctly remember the day clearly. It was April 1st, April Fool's Day, and into my classroom walks a little tiny Bonsall and a little tiny writer. Except instead of Damon and Stevie, it was Dylan and Brianna trying to fool me. And I caught on right away due to the fact that they have very different personalities, and I'm quite sure maybe one of them wore glasses. But anyway, I never let on. I let them stay in my class all day and let them sweat it out. I specifically called on them, and in fact, I gave a test to the entire class just on purpose. But I love them, and they were so sweet. I'll never forget that day. My hope for you is that life leads you on a grand adventure, and that you make sure that you roll down those windows, turn the radio up, and enjoy the ride. And I wish you all the best wherever your road may take you, even if not the Florida Gators, that's okay. Go Gators.
All right, and to present flowers to Ms. Kundtz is Jillian Connor. Jillian wrote, "When I was in 2nd grade, Ms. Kundtz predicted that I would go to Brown University for college. She may not remember that, but I always did. Ms. Kundtz was one of the very first teachers to see potential in me. I will never forget our class-wide multiplication races when I went head-to-head with her. She promised me she would buy me breakfast if I beat her, and unfortunately I never did. But wow, did she make me feel smart and special as a 2nd grader. Ms. Kundtz challenged me, thought highly of me, and most importantly, inspired me. Ms. Kundtz is one of the reasons why I want to be an elementary teacher. I want to be like her. I want to tell kids they will make it to an Ivy League school someday. She is now the gifted teacher for the elementary schools in the district, and I cannot wait to shadow her next semester. Thank you, Ms. Kundtz, for helping me realize and appreciate the person I am today and who I strive to become." Well, congratulations. And next, from Ridge Park Elementary School, we have, fresh off of, still on maternity leave, actually, Mrs. Jennifer Jennings.
Good afternoon, fellow Colonials. My name is Mrs. Jennings, but you may know me as Miss Nemchak. I'm so honored and touched to be included in this wonderful event that celebrates your commitment to academic excellence. Thank you first to anyone who remembers me from all the way back in 1st grade. I certainly remember all of you. And thank you also to the organizers today for passing on such meaningful and positive affirmations for what we do as teachers. Though it has now been many years since each of you gathered onto a rug gathered onto a rug decorated with the alphabet or numbers or animals, I believe there are lessons that should still resonate from your days as bright-eyed, energetic 6- and 7-year-olds. Though some may be more meaningful than others, I do expect that you all remember not to put crayons in the pencil sharpener and not to use bathroom stalls as your own personal climbing wall. Hopefully, you also carry with you what I believe to be the most important lessons from back in the days when a wet paper towel fixed most boo-boos, when a tiny eraser from the school store made your day, and when a disagreement over a swing at recess quickly morphed back into a deep and happy friendship by lunchtime. This simplicity and innocence of our early school days, I think, can still teach us about listening to one another and cheering each other on, whether you're in high school or navigating an increasingly complicated adult world. For 12 years at Ridge Park, my classes gathered every day in a circle on my own alphabet rug with 20 or so first graders eager to tell each other all about their latest adventures. These class meetings give each student the chance to share what is most on their minds and what matters most to them. No matter how each child is feeling that day, every member of our class knows that their voice will be heard and accepted. While it may be difficult for some first grade students to sit crisscross applesauce, I rarely have to remind them when they are listening to their classmates. They cheer for their friends' soccer goals, worry about each other's sick pets, feel gratitude when they are called out for doing something kind, and best of all, make this hand signal to show the speaker that they share a connection with what is being said. In the time since you sat on that rug in your first grade class, you've followed interests and passions that have steered you in many different directions. I look around today and I see athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs, actors, activists, and authors. I hope, however, that you always remember how important it is to appreciate an experience different from your own, to make others feel heard, and to find that common ground that shows we are all closer to each other than we might have otherwise noticed. After all, that sense of acceptance in first grade comes from someone acknowledging each thought, achievement, or challenge, even if it's just with a wet paper towel. I think at our best moments, we recall these feelings, and I hope that as you continue to challenge yourselves academically, you also remember that you're a very important part of the community and have the power to make others feel valued, just as you did around that alphabet rug. And of course, boys and girls, pencil sharpeners are just for pencils. Congratulations on this impressive accomplishment. Best of luck in the exciting years to come, and I hope that you always make other people feel special as you've made me feel today.
This is very sensitive. Don't look. There we go. It's all right. Everybody's a little nervous when we get up here, so it's all right. So I have a special guest for you, and it would be Cade Mismer. And Cade said, Mrs. Jennings made learning personal and made it enjoyable for all of her students, regardless of reading level or math expertise. She made sure to provide a challenge when one was required, and she made the success of her students her #1 priority. To her students, Mrs. Jennings was more than just a teacher. She was someone who would help when necessary and give advice when needed. She taught in a way that would allow all of her students to realize their potential and achieve their goals. And she brought something special to her classroom each and every day. It can be said with great certainty that she left her mark on many, if not all, of the students who have been lucky enough to have her. Congratulations. All right, so from Whitemarsh Elementary School, some of you may know her as Miss Young. She is now Miss Henry. Miss Kirsten Henry will come up and speak with you next.
First, I'd like to congratulate all the students in this room on your incredible academic accomplishments. I would also like to thank all the family members and teachers who were able to join you here today. They say it takes a village, and it sure does. Each student here needs to take the time to thank their parents and guardians and past teachers for the support they have received in order to be sitting in this room today. From the kindergarten teacher, which I am now, that taught you the letter sound song, to the 4-5 teacher that encouraged your love of math, to the middle school teacher that taught you your first foreign language, to the high school teacher that is writing your letter of recommendation to get into the college of your dreams. We all love hearing about your success and fueling your goals. Students have a very hard job of juggling academics, athletics, after-school programs, jobs, and family time. I commend you for having what it takes to excel academically while still maintaining all of your commitments. It is a true honor to stand here today and represent Whitemarsh. To the students who recommended Miss Young, now Mrs. Henry, finally, to be a guest speaker today to attend this special event. I am truly blessed to have known you and taught you. This is the beginning of my 20th year in the district. I have watched 456 children enter my classroom on the first day, eager and excited. I have watched them face challenges, grow, and blossom. Then I have watched as they have all exited my classroom 180 days later, smarter, kinder, and taller. Each of you has worked extremely hard in the classroom and at home to be sitting in this room today. Your dedication, perseverance, and work ethics have obviously paid off. The book One Smile by Cindy McKinley, some of you might recognize it if you were in my room, talks about the concept of paying it forward. This little girl's smile starts a positive chain of events that eventually comes back to her. Always remember to have fun and smile. Remember that you need to spread kindness and pay your intelligence forward to those around you that need an extra laugh or help with their own academics. With such endeavors accomplished, you are certain to acquire many more during the rest of your time at PW. Remember your Whitemarsh, Plymouth, Conshohocken, or Rich Park roots. Share a smile whenever you can, and know that this accomplishment is just the beginning of many great dreams coming true for you. Thank you.
And here to welcome Mrs. Henry is Seth Elkins. Seth said, in first grade at Whitemarsh Elementary School, Miss Young was the embodiment of positivity and gentleness. She was smart, incredible with her students, and one of the kindest teachers I've ever had. One highlight of my first grade year with Miss Young was having a mystery reader every Friday. It was always a special treat when Miss Young invited a different surprise guest to class to read us a book. I can never thank Miss Young enough for teaching me basic math and English necessities, but most importantly, to be compassionate and caring. Thank you so much for a terrific first grade and bestowing wisdom upon me that I would use for the rest of my life. Congratulations. Now we're moving on to Colonial Elementary School, and without further ado, I'm going to bring up Mr. Chad Murray.
Good afternoon. It's a privilege to be standing here before a group of talented, ambitious, and driven young adults who are being recognized for your accomplishments of attaining the honor roll for the 2017-2018 school year. This is an achievement for which you should be honored, recognized, and definitely celebrated. So back in my 5th grade classroom and in my 3rd grade classroom at CES, I often referred to my students as twerps. Yes, you heard me correctly, twerps. They were talented, wonderful, educated, responsible, positive students. That's a nickname that I've used for my students over the years to help reinforce that while I want to have fun while we're learning, that I also believe they are very, very capable of great things. So for some of you twerps in the audience, earning the grades to make honor roll was probably a pretty easy accomplishment. You completed your required work, you reviewed your notes, and you passed your many assessments, and you tackled your course projects and did wonderful, successful presentations in class. You put in the time and energy to make you successful and earn honorable grades. However, for other twerps here in the room, making honor roll was probably a little bit more challenging and not an easy accomplishment. You may have had difficulty reading and comprehending text at a young age. Math concepts may not have come easily to you. Retaining information from your various content areas was a struggle, or you had test anxiety and internal battles when you had to take assessments. The time and energy that you had to put forth to attain the same honorable grades as your peers was a struggle. It was time-consuming, it seemed daunting, and perhaps sometimes the workload felt insurmountable. Yet, here you are too, having achieved the same success. My point in sharing that fact to you is not that for others, for some that was easy and for some that required extra work. It's not to discredit the path that any of you took or needed to take to be successful and honored here today. My point is that we each have unique paths or journeys to reach or attain desired goals. While it's important to acknowledge and celebrate your accomplishments, I believe it is equally important to recognize the unique paths you took to achieve those end results. It is the experiences you had on these journeys or paths that help to build your character, develop skill sets, and provide you insights and opportunities for reflection, all of which are very valuable in helping you set future goals and to guide you as you venture down different paths to attain desired outcomes in your futures, in school and beyond, wherever they may lead you. So I want you to pay attention to those paths you're on. I am going to encourage you to pay even closer attention when your path or journey has some bumps in the road. Notice when you make a mistake. Notice when a task is difficult. Notice when a goal is not attained as easily as you expected. Note the decisions you make along the way regarding what worked and didn't work. Because sooner or later, if you haven't already, each of you are going to struggle in some aspect of your life, working to attain a personal or a professional goal. But I want you to know that struggle is good. It makes you rethink your path. It causes you to make necessary adjustments, and it requires you to push forward when it feels as though you might want to give up. When you encounter a struggle, you're going to have to get gritty and persevere. That is what's required of you to successfully continue on your journey, your own unique path. Learning from those events and experiences that require more energy, effort, time, creativity, and determination will better prepare you for what is to come later in life, as you have new aspirations, set new goals, and venture further down your personal path in life. So personally, I had to understand or learn about perseverance at an early age. Students sitting here who might have been in my 3rd or 5th grade classroom, will I remember a story that I shared from a 3rd grade experience. See, as a child, I was a poor reader. And I had a classmate, Rochelle. Her and I were in the lowest reading group, just the two of us. And Rochelle, in that 3rd grade year, did the unimaginable to me. She moved away. She left me all alone in a reading group all by myself. Mr. Martin, my 3rd grade teacher, knew that I was upset, and he pulled me aside and talked to me personally after she moved. We discussed me joining another reading group, one that would be more challenging and require more time, energy, and effort. Mr. Martin recognized my struggle, yet he also shared that he believed in me and that he would encourage me to help me manage time, energy, and effort to push forward. Long story made short, I practiced word cards at home. I read and reread texts given to me. And with Mr. Martin's encouragement, along with the support of family and friends, I made progress. I also came to realize I was an auditory learner and could better comprehend texts if I heard them read aloud. My poor family had to endure me reading text aloud for the next 8 years, all the way through high school. And not just text for reading, for every subject area in school. But I made it. I even made honor roll a couple of times. And I went on to become a teacher, now in my 25th year with the Colonial School District. My path, my journey is my own individual experience that has helped shape who I am today. As a teacher, I have seen students, including some of you, struggle academically, socially, physically, and/or emotionally. Mr. Martin and my other teachers, my parents, my friends, they were my cheerleaders. Their encouragement and support guided me on my path, one that directly influences how I have interacted and continue to interact with my students today. Some might say in my role as a teacher, I'm paying it forward. What I've learned and now I'm sharing with others, such as yourselves. But back to all of you, the twerps in the room. Yes, you, the talented, the wonderful, the educated, responsible, positive students before me. I want you to continue to celebrate your accomplishments and be proud. When your efforts reap rewards, you deserve to be recognized. At the same time, know it is okay to struggle. Know it is okay to ask for help. Your path is yours alone, but allow yourself to have some cheerleaders. Moving forward, whether your educational endeavors come easily for you, or you have to put in the extra time and energy, life in school and life in the world beyond high school is about setting realistic goals and working toward them. So be determined, build endurance, and do not let anyone tell you your goal, if it is realistic, is unattainable. Keep it real, be yourselves, and approach each day with a new fresh start. And ultimately, on your journeys, I encourage you to always be as talented as you can be, as wonderful as you can be, as educated as you can be, as responsible and positive as you can be. And yes, continue to be students, learning something new every day. Great job, gang. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. And we have Julia Neiswinder coming up to say this about Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray was a teacher who made me excited to go to school, which is a rare occurrence. His kind and bubbly personality allowed him to connect with all the students, even me, a shy fifth grader. Whether it was giving all the students nicknames or giving hugs, he always made the students laugh. He created a hug with my long last name and called it the Nice Winder Up Hug. At first I was embarrassed of it, but now I am grateful that he brought me out of my shell. So thank you, Mr. Murray, for showing me what an amazing teacher means and leaving an impact on me that will last forever. Congratulations. All right, now on to CMS. We have a very special guest with us today, Mr. George Hankins.
Good afternoon, P-Dub. I am humbled, grateful, and proud to be here, and I'm thankful for those who recognized me. But I am really here for you. Consider it an honor, a pleasure, and another opportunity. I got 9.5 months one time, and for some of you, we may have never met. But I'd like to take my 3 to 5 minutes and say one more thing and remind my students I had about a few things that matter. For you see, one of the things that I often come across in my time and when I'm in social situations with my wife or family is I get that question, what is the favorite thing you like to teach in American history? That one generic question that when they're trying to fill time or space or weird moments of silence, they're just going to ask me. They expect World War II or American Revolution, but the reality is, like many of my students know, it's nothing to do with history. It's actually to do with life. For you see, it actually revolves around something I learned as a young teacher right here at PW. When I started as a student teacher, I remember the people that spoke with me and encouraged me. And I think about it. It's the same thing I experienced when I was in middle school, when I was in high school. It's those questions. I reached this moment. I'm here in this seat. I should be proud of what I accomplished. But yet I still ask, am I smart enough? Will I be able to get into that college I want? Will I be able to achieve that level of skill to be able to enter into the job force right away? Am I able to be adequate? Am I handsome enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I fast enough? Am I good enough? I'm always was thinking about how I measured myself. But then as I grew and I learned more and more, it really came down to one thing. See, life was much more than just all these things I thought and imagined to be true, but the reality is there was one thing that equalized us all. It was actually time. Time was the powerful variable. For you see, your success today in these chairs is because of the time you spent on tasks in your academics and your pursuit of being the best you. And whether you want to believe it or not, you are the product of someone's investment in time. I'm sure all of you can think of a grandparent or parent who cared for you when you're young. Maybe it's someone that watched you to help financially stabilize your family and take care of you before you went to school, or was a coach or as a teacher of music, someone that invested time, or a parent who just simply spent time and listened. You're an investment in time. That relationship made you. It mattered. So your life will always be gauged on how you spend your time. How do you define your time? How will you in the future define your time? I challenge you. Listen to another's opinions and gain their perspective. Stop talking. Open your ears. I would ask you to think about other things such as what may another person need, not just simply what I need to get through today. I realize that we struggle with anxiety and stress, and sometimes those are always in the forefront of our minds. But I want you to know that that's okay. Each one of our formulas is going to be different. The way we add 2 and 2 to get 4 sometimes doesn't work that way. And sometimes we need to think about happiness is found in a careful balance of our time. In closing, today the PW family laid to rest one of our former principals. Pat Campbell, as a young student teacher, invested time in me. I remember one conversation that happened to happen late at night here at PW. You see, I was the type of teacher who actually used to leave windows unlocked so I could crawl in them on the weekends to work on my lesson plans, because they would lock me out. And that wasn't healthy. And I remember walking by her office and she was there. And I talked with her and she told me basically the gist of the conversation was stop worrying about your mistakes, stop worrying about your failures, and start thinking about this. Make sure you save time to serve others in your life. P-Dub, congrats. I'm proud of you, and thanks for your time.
Keegan Gallagher, run up. Keegan said, I always remember being excited to go to Mr. Hankins' class each day because he always made history fun, whether it was through war reenactments or simply through one of the many energetic lessons. He has been one of the most influential teachers throughout my colonial education, not only through the way Mr. Hankins taught his class, but also by the way he makes his students feel special. At the end of every year, he writes a handwritten letter to every student, and I still have my letter today that I read from time to time to remember his advice. I am grateful that I was able to have Mr. Hankins as a teacher, and I want to thank him for believing me as a student and a person. Congratulations. And last but not least, I believe most of her class is here to see her today, and a whole bunch of other students. From Plymouth Whitemarsh High School, we have Miss Russo. Good afternoon.
Let me take a second to say, congratulations. I'm so very proud of you. You have shown dedication to your education, and you have consistently achieved high scores. I am happy and honored to celebrate you today. Your classes are tough, and yet you rose to the occasion time and time again. Achieving honor roll represents your admirable grades, but I believe it says more about you. You sitting here today truly speaks to your character, the person you are. Last year, you came to school about 185 days. In each of those days, you made a decision. You decided to prioritize your academic obligations. I'm sure it involved early mornings, late nights, extra help at bonus block or at lunchtimes, social sacrifices, struggle, stress, and frustration. And at your weakest moment, you persisted. This is your work ethic. And for me, this is what I find most motivating to observe in you. Your intrinsic drive, your instinct to push you to keep going, keep fighting, do not fatigue. As I get older, I find it is more and more simple. There is no substitute for hard work and determination. It is your work ethic that will continually set you apart from your peers. When you think of the challenges you met last year, you quickly realize that your day-to-day, it's not glamorous. It's life. It's tough. And it takes grit. These challenges will continue. Your life will be full of them. But I hope you continue to grow yourself. Your work ethic is a solid foundation, but keep striving. Keep wanting more. Grow your self-discipline, perseverance, and focus. You do not hit a certain quota and stop. You never stop. And while your day-to-day might not always be glamorous, I promise this, you will always have a deep sense of pride and self-worth. While I am here to celebrate you, I would also like to thank you. Thank you for sharing your life with me. Being a part of your journey through Plymouth Whitemarsh is so rewarding. Knowing that I had a positive impact on even a few of you is my confirmation for me to keep striving, to keep wanting more. Your achievements inspire me to grow, and for that, I'm so very grateful. Lastly, please do not forget to thank your support system. Your accomplishments are a reflection of the people that love and care for you. Appreciate them. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and again, congratulations.
Sterling here, who said, Miss Russo is not only a great teacher, but also a great person. She doesn't just teach math. She takes a real interest in all of her students and how they are doing. She truly wants all of her students to succeed, and she does whatever she can to help. On a personal level, she is someone who left an impression on me that will be helpful for my future. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to give one last round of applause for all of the students and all of the teachers and the families that have been here to help us today. I'd like to give a moment to our NHS president, Brooke Dunoff, who is going to address everyone today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Brooke Dunoff, and on behalf of the National Honor Society, I would like to congratulate you all on your hard work and efforts that got you here today. At PW, we all strive to be the best students we can by challenging our academics, participating in activities in or out of school, and contributing to our communities. Every student here has shown incredible persistence in his or her academics, and by taking honors and AP courses, we are all extending our capabilities and reaching new levels of hard work and motivation. In addition to our academics, we each have taken our personal interests and added them to our busy schedules through a variety of clubs and organizations. These activities have motivated us to pursue our passions while preparing us for our futures. Some of these extracurricular activities include visual competitions, creative workshops, STEM projects, cultural clubs, and philanthropic organizations. One of these service associations, National Honor Society, has been running Lemon Month for Alice's Lemonade Stand Foundation through the month of September. As we continue into the last few days of Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, we ask that you get excited and participate in Lemon Week events at all lunches. Our academic achievements, participation in school activities, and involvement in our communities truly embody what we call PW Pride. I hope to see you all continuing your efforts within your educations and beyond for yourselves and for the school. Thank you all so much for your hard work and for being an incredible representation of our school. Again, congratulations on your achievements. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. And we will see all the NHS participants up here on stage in just a couple weeks. Before we leave, I have a wonderful group of students they're going to take the stage to sing our alma mater. We have a few additions. Come on up, guys. We have a few additions. We also have Morgan Holsinger and Anna Schick joining Caroline Borio, Matt Dolan, Seth Elkins, Michaela Gerner, Eric Rosoil, Colin Mack, Anita Rayo, Trina Schausberg, and Regina Smith. Today to participate and to watch our academic award ceremony. I really hope that you enjoyed the experience. I know as an educator, I absolutely love to hear the stories that all of our teachers talk to our students about and that the wonderful things that our students say about our teachers. In addition, I just want to mention that I could not do the ceremony without my assistant, Lynn McCarthy. She did a wonderful job putting this all together, as well as Mr. Cooper, who worked with our student singers, and the whole staff at our high school. So thank you again for joining us. We have a reception over in the cafeteria, so please take a few minutes. Our teachers will come over, and our students are welcome as well. Have a great day.